Hello, I'm so excited to have PhilipWinteregg with me here today, and he is the author of Blessed, A Journey Through Grief to Gratitude. Philip, can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Sure, it's a story of where I relate my experience in losing my wife. We'd been married 42 years, and the process of going through grief and just how God walked me through that and got me to the point where there was for me joy in the morning. There was a, a point where I could move forward with my life.
Wow. Well, first of all, I want to say I'm so sorry for your loss. I think that this book could really help other people that might be going through something similar. What was your inspiration for writing it?
I had a lot of people I was surrounded by a number of people who loved me and who would check up on me. And one of the things that my wife always did for me, she would listen, and I could explain things and talk my way through things. And my friends would ask, and they would give me an opportunity to kind of share what was going on and what was happening in my heart. And I was told over and over again, I know somebody who needs to hear this. I have a family member, I have a friend that's stuck in grief. And these were all lessons I learned. I wasn't, that smart or that wise. These were all things that God was teaching me. And so uh, part of what happened at our church once in a while is they will have a testify series where a few people will have an extended interview and talk about what God has done for them. And a lot of times it's tragic events, sometimes it's other types of things. And that really, Holy Spirit really spoke to me at that time and just said, listen, people need to hear this. They need to understand the lessons you've learned. And so I wrote the book not to tell someone this is how you do grief. I think there's a lot of clinical books out there. It's more a book of giving people hope that, listen, if you depend on God, if you listen to God, if you quiet yourself to hear Holy Spirit, there is a path forward. And for you, that path may be very different, but there is a path forward. And there is hope and there is joy in the morning. And that's why I wrote the book.
I love that so much. That's wonderful. And I'm so glad that you decided to share your story, Philip. Is there anything else you want to share about your book or the message behind your book or about yourself?
I think the point is that, and it's not necessarily this book. I think would be good not just for someone who like my situation lost a spouse, but anybody who feels like they hit that wall. There's some great disappointment, and they don't understand a path forward. There is a path forward, and it's depending on God, listening to God, and understanding He does love us. He does care for us. He always has a plan and a purpose for us, no matter what happens. And I learned in my experience that although I still miss my wife, we were married 42 years. How could I not, right? What I have found is that her death was not the end. It was just the end of a chapter in my life, and that God had a new chapter ahead for me. So I would just encourage anybody that it feels like they've hit that wall, they don't know how to move forward, is that this book may give you some insight on how to listen to God and how to look at how do I move forward? How do I open the book to the next chapter?
That's great. For anyone who's interested in picking up a copy of this, again, it's Philip Winteregg, and the title is Blessed, A Journey Through Grief to Gratitude. Thank you so much, Philip, for being with us today, and thank you again for sharing your story.
Well, thank you.